What happened to my thing though? My is it on the floor? Why would my thing be on the floor? Hello. What in the world? What happened to my light? Here comes the light. Oh, look at my hair up. That must have happened earlier when I was doing my activities with Gloria. Gloria, Gloria, I think they got your number. Gloria, I think they got your area that you've been living under. All right, I ain't come on here to sing. I got the papers. I got the mail. I really do need the light. And I got the papers from last night. And let me find that light, because this is dark. You know, I broke my other light. Oh, here it is. They don't even answer. We've been living online. Calling Gloria. Woo! Gloria. Gloria. I'm going to sing that to her tomorrow. Because I'm a fool. All right. That's better. So, for those who don't know, Gloria is my new aide. Rufai was my last aide. And I promise this is it. I don't need anybody else unless she leaves. That's it. It's just Gloria. Oh, damn. Oh, wait a minute. Ha ha ha. Okay. Always knew that. Excuse me 1 second. Michael! Hi, I scratched my arm on the thing in the kitchen. It's too short. The corner. Okay. I know he's tired of me. Wait a minute. Is this on? Okay. I'm going to cut that out. No, he tired of me. All right. I got to paint this so it can dry. And I got to spray my floors. But anyway, what happened was yesterday, I was going to come on and talk about these papers, and I got them ready. And I put this stuff on here, and then I got so tired I never did it. So I was waiting, and I said, you know what? I never got the papers from them anyway in the mail. And the lady sent me a letter, which I'm going to share. And in her letter, she says, we mailed you the papers. And I'm sitting here talking, and I said, they never even mailed me the papers. I might have said it in one of my videos, and I just didn't play the video yet. And I said, I'm glad that I never posted the video, because they never even sent me the papers. So I was talking about it and a couple of days ago, and I never got the video. Oh, I never got the paper. And that one is dated January 10th. And this one is dated January 10th. So it's just funny that I'm talking about stuff, and the next thing you know, here we go, I'm getting the papers. Now, even though I said it yesterday, and yesterday was the 12th, I was talking on the phone to someone. And I said it to that person before the 10th. And I said, these people talking about they sent me something, and they never sent me the paper. And so the person responded back to me, well, you don't even have to worry about that because you don't need to sign the paper no way. Really? Yeah. And that person said, well, if you've been on such and such and such a, you don't need to even sign the papers. I said, oh. So now either they got a bug in my apartment and they heard my part of the conversation, but they didn't hear the other person's part of the conversation. So they're hearing me tell the person on the phone, I ain't even got the papers that the lady is claiming in the letter that she sent me, but they don't hear the person's response back to me. Or when I got off the phone with that person, they heard me tell the second person they didn't even send me the papers that the lady claims that she sent me. Which is it? Because all that happened before the 10th. Which tells me you bugging my apartment. But the bottom line is they want me to move out of this apartment if I don't sign their addendum. And I received Section 8. And Section 8 says you don't even have to sign the addendum. In other words, whether I sign the addendum or not, the addendum is applicable because I have Section 8. And their contract with them, my contract and my lease renewal renews automatically. So I don't need to sign their addendum because it automatically renews once I've lived here a year. But they want me to sign it because what they have in this addendum is not in the old addendum. So that's why they want it signed. But according to Section 8, I don't need to sign it. Even if their lease addendum, the lease renewal, and the addendum has been updated, I really don't need to sign it because the lease automatically renews. And the addendum, whatever it is, automatically renews according to Section 8. Even if you put something in there, it automatically renews. Now, these attorneys want my signature on it because the renewal of the addendum waives my right to go to court. So they want me signing it. I ain't signing nothing that waives my right to go to court. If you want me out this apartment, you have to take me to court. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys, this is how Americans all over the country are getting kicked out of their apartment. You are not reading your paperwork. And because you are not reading your paperwork, you're signing it, and you're signing the addendum. And the addendum is taking away your right to go to court. Did you know that? So even if you have Section 8, and it's hard to get Section 8, people who have Section 8, Section 8 is getting you kicked off of Section 8. They're helping you lose your Section 8. Because in the Section 8 contract, it says that the lease and the addendum is the controlling contract. So if the addendum says, if you sneeze, you can be put out of your apartment. If you sneeze in your apartment within the last 2 years, you can be put out of your apartment. If you fart within the last 3 years. Yes, I'm being facetious, but the contract that you have on Section 8 is a contract between yourself, and then there's a contract between the landlord and the Section 8 housing authority. And your contract says, your Section 8 contract or your housing contract says, the addendum and the lease renewal, if there is a conflict between your lease with the landlord and your lease with housing authority and the landlord and the addendum is the ruling contract. So that means your lease that you have with the landlord comes second. Your lease that you sign with the landlord is second. So for those of you who don't know this, and you go in there and you sign your lease and you say, I have a lease, this is first. No, it's not. Section 8 addendum that they sign is first. So when you think you have those protections, no, you don't. You're going to get put out. So if you don't read it, they're literally telling me, you got to get out at the end of the month if you don't sign it. If I do sign it, I have to get out at the end of the month. And they scare people into saying, sign it or you got to get out. If I sign it, I'm signing away all my rights. I don't have a right to go to court. Now, when I go to court, the judge will say, well, Ms. Harris, do you agree with this? No, Your Honor, I want to go to court. Now, literally what this paper says is, if my family member, if my visitor in the last year committed a crime, even if I know about it or don't know about it, and they come over my house, that they can put me out of this apartment. Even if they have not committed a crime or caused a scene at my apartment, just the mere fact that a visitor is at my house visiting me quietly, and somebody knows, I saw them last month get arrested by the police, and call the police and send them to my house, and they have a warrant for their arrest. I just lost my apartment. This is how they get you out your apartment, and then they rent it to somebody who doesn't have Section 8. And that is the whole point of this, so that they don't have to let Section 8 pay them $1,500. Now they can charge $3,000, $4,000 to this apartment by putting migrants in here. This is a 1-bedroom, but this is a bedroom. That is a bedroom. The bedroom is a bedroom. You see? And the government is paying migrants to stay in America. So one bedroom becomes 3 bedrooms. So that's why they want Americans out these apartments. Imagine if they had a 2-bedroom. They can get $10,000, $15,000 a month with a 2-bedroom apartment that has a dining room, a front room, and 2 bedrooms. So you all have to be careful. That's one of the reasons why I'm running for president. Y'all making a joke out of the fact that I'm running for president. Keep laughing until you sitting out there on the street. So that's why I'm about to show you these papers so that you can see what these papers look like, and you will not sign your rights away. Do not sign these papers. You have rights unless you sign these papers. So let me just paint the rest of this thing, and then I got to cut this thing up so it's not too long. But I'll show you these papers. I took their names off so it doesn't violate their privacy. I don't want people going to their office and harassing them. So I took their names off, and they fired the lady who sent me the papers. They fired her. Or I don't know if from the job. They say she left. But she's not in the position that she was. And then after all the headache that they caused me, they had the audacity to send me this email. Oh, Miss Harris, this was a mistake. We sent you that email, and it was an automatically generated email, and it was a mistake. We didn't mean to send it to you. This is what they sent me. So it reads, oh, I'm sorry, I crossed the date out. They sent it to me January 2nd. After sending me the letter, I'll show you the letter in a minute. So this says, Miss Harris, the notice terminating lease and demand for possession was automatically generated and sent in error, as we have not received your unmodified renewal. Please disregard the notice and provide us with a signed renewal at your earliest convenient. Thank you. I ain't giving them nothing. You ain't getting nothing from me. So the whole thing that started this is the letter. It's a letter. This letter with the thing. But she sent this to me lying, because I told her this whole thing. So I ain't got the letter. All right. But anyway, that's the letter. I had it covered up so that it wouldn't so that nobody could see the lady's stuff, but apparently it's gone. I don't know where it is now. But she sent me that letter, and she sent me, and then it's a public letter. It's going to be sent in court, but I want to not send that lady's name. I'll put her name on the thing. Maybe it's in the room. And but I don't want to put her name out there. But she sent me that letter and started all this BS. So I'll just go ahead and read what it says. And she says, it's a termination of lease letter. You are to quit and vacate the above premises now occupied by you as a tenant. Demand is hereby made that you deliver possession of the premises to the landlord. This letter is dated December 26th, and it was received by me December 29th. I had another court date for something else completely different, and I was supposed to have all this discovery sent, but I had to stop everything that I was doing. Anyway, she has the audacity to say to me, the expiration of your lease is January 31st, 2024, the last day of this month. They want to lock me out of my apartment at the end of this month. The reason is your lease is terminated because the expiration of your lease on or about 10/24/2023, an original and copy of the renewal lease and lease addendum was forwarded to you. No, it wasn't. I never got it. You were requested to execute and return the executed documents by no later than 25 days from the date they were sent to you. I never got it. And that's why I say they must have a bug in this apartment, because I never got it. As of this date, we have not received the executed renewal lease / lease addendum. I never got it either. I never got nothing. Accordingly, be advised that pursuant to NJSA means New Jersey Statute Annotated 2A:18-61.1 parentheses I, tenancy proceedings for possession of your apartment will be instituted against you for failure to accept reasonable changes in the term, it should say terms and condition of your lease. Now, in order for you to do that, if I signed it, I would be waiving my right for you to make those changes. Now, I'll forget the rest of that because it's just two paragraphs. Now, they go ahead and they send me the terms. Let me make sure there's nothing in here. Okay, these are the terms, the crime-free terms, right? Just so that y'all see. This is what every landlord is putting in here. I'm going to read it because this is very small. Now, you normally have murder, aggravated assault, human trafficking, kidnapping, arson, causing or permitting a child endangerment. You normally have first degree, manslaughter, drug trafficking, money laundering, drug distribution, money laundering, disarming a police officer, maintaining or operating a drug facility. Those are first degree. That's normal within the past 3 years. Oh, they have 6 years. They even changed that because the law says 3 years. They've made it 6 years. Why? All right, now second degree. Unlawful possession of a handgun, robbery, possession of a weapon, or controlled dangerous substance offense, which is a CDS. Again, normally it's 3 years. They have changed it to make it 4 years. And if it's 4 years, that means you got to wait longer to get into these apartments or any apartment. But the statute says 3 years. Okay, now they added on third degree and they added on fourth degree. Most of these are misdemeanors. But this is the part that will get you kicked out of your apartment. Possession of a controlled dangerous substance, all within the last 4 years. The one that's a fourth degree crime, all within the last year. But before I get to that, let me read number 6. Number 6, right? This is what gets you kicked out. Listen. Anyone who has been convicted of or pleaded guilty to any one of the following offenses in the state of New Jersey, or a substantially similar offense in any other jurisdiction, shall be completely barred from the premises as a tenant, a visitor, guest, or invitee. What? You want to lose your entire apartment. An invitee? You can't invite somebody to your apartment? How would you know this? How would you know that an invitee, a visitor, or a guest has aggravated hazing, contempt, forgery, criminal trespassing, criminal mischief, lewdness, stalking? How the fuck would you know that about that somebody did this within the last year? What if somebody is at your church and you all decide to have a meeting at your house? How would you know this about them, that they did this within the last year and you had them at your house? Because up here, it says you're going to lose your apartment if you invite somebody like this to your house. I'm not, y'all think I'm playing, because it says you can't invite anybody like this to your house. Well, I'm trying to, where is this? Tenant or any member of the household shall not permit the dwelling unit to be used for criminal activity or to facilitate. Where is the thing? Tenant or member of the household, any guest or invitee in the unit or on any common ground or any other person in the unit. It's number 4, right here. On the common ground, invited there in any way by a tenant or any member of the tenant's household shall not engage in unlawful manufacturing, selling, using, storing, keeping, or giving any controlled substance or cannabis at any location in the unit or on the common grounds. Tenant or any, I think it's number 5. Anyone who has been convicted or plead guilty to any one of the following offenses in the state of New Jersey or a substantially similar offense shall be completely barred from the premises as a tenant. Oh, I read that one. But I think it's in number 5 in here. We're saying that you can't have somebody in or near the tenant. You can't have them as a guest or something like that. It's in here somewhere. Tenant or any member of the tenant's household, a guest or invitee in the unit or on the common grounds, or any other person. It's somewhere in here. Any criminal activity that you can't even have the person over for any of these offenses. But how would you know? How would you know this? A single violation of any of the provisions of this added addendum shall be deemed a serious violation of the lease. Oh, I'm sorry, I was on the wrong page. And then you got to sign it and date it, and then the landlord is going to sign it and date it. Then it says you will be responsible for your own behavior. That makes sense. But up here in 7, if somebody else violates it, why are you responsible for what they did a year ago before they came to visit you at your... But if you don't read this, you don't know that you're going to lose your apartment. Anyway, so I'm not signing any one of these, and I'm going to court because in the state of New Jersey, in most states, you can't be held liable for what somebody else does a year before you meet them. If your kids or your sister or your brother is providing healthcare services to you, or your aide, or your TPS worker who broke the law to come into the country, but in New Jersey, they're not prosecuted for that. You can have your TPS worker over your house, even though they broke the law to come into the country. You don't have to lose your apartment. For your TPS means temporary protected services. So I'll see these people in court. I don't have time for these people because they want to. And I don't know why they fired the lady. I really don't even care why they fired her, because you're not gonna violate my rights, because that's why I went to school. That's why that wall is full of diplomas for going to school. No, I'm not an attorney. I don't ever try to pretend to be an attorney, but I do know my rights, and that's where we going. We going to court because you're not going to force me out of my apartment. Tenants have rights, and that's what judges are for. Judges are to enforce tenants' rights, because there's so many. I do feel some compassion for migrants, but y'all all can't come here and make things worse for Americans. We don't receive a living wage. We can't get an apartment off of $15 an hour. But when you come from their country and somebody pays you $15 an hour and you take the money and you send it back to their country, it's $1,000 in their country, $15 an hour. And I understand they want to come here and work and send it back to their family, and they can, do what they have to do. I understand that, but that's one of the reasons why I'm running for president, because you getting the fuck out of this country. There is some place to help them and to send them out of America where they can be safe. It'll be on my page. But as long as you here, we can't get an apartment and pay for a car and pay for insurance and pay for lights and send our kids to school and buy clothes off of $15 an hour. We need $30 an hour. And as long as you're here in this country at $1 million each, they ain't gonna never pay us $25 and $30 an hour when they can pay you $15. So I understand your plight, but that ain't our fault. So where are you gonna get the money from? Where are you gonna get the money from? In America, the countries that they're coming from, we have trade agreements with their countries. We're sending $100 million to their country to help out their people. We're going to get the money from there. That's where I'm getting the money from. You don't need $100 million when half of your people are coming to our country. Half of that money is going to, I'm taking it and I'm using it to take care of half of your people that's in this country. We're gonna stop taking money that we need from our budgets. We're gonna take it from the trade agreements that our Congress keeps sending to you. Have a good day.